Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shafiza. Collaborative procurement is two or more organizations that agree to work together, having identified the benefits that can be achieved by aligning their purchasing power and resources to deliver financial saving, efficiency, and effectiveness without any detriment to the project's or service objective. It is the best use of procurement expertise and resources that eliminates duplicate effort. It should also lead to a collaborative working environment which bring about additional benefits not directly related to the procurement benefit. Collaborative procurement is an effective way for more than one client, contractor, consultant, and supplier to join together to procure work, services, material, or goods, share expertise, promote efficiency, and deliver value for money savings in the delivery of a project or service objective. The construction industry is a sector that is competitive and risky. It faces challenges such as poor teamwork, limited trust, and inadequate communication, often leading to an adversarial working relationship with all stakeholders of the project. This type of adversarial partnership is likely to lead to a construction delays, claim settlement issue, cost overrun, litigation, and a win-loss climate. Historically, the construction sector characterized by adversarial relationship, the lack of cooperation between project members, and the fact that construction contractors and clients depend primarily on minimizing project costs and neglecting value are both factors for the poor performance of a building projects.
Hi, my name is Shakira. Today I will explain about the Public-Private Partnership or PPP. PPP is part of collaborative procurement. PPP defines a public service or private business enterprise financed and managed by a collaboration between government or private firm. There are various of definitions, and after combine all the definitions, the final definitions that I can conclude is PPP is a contractual relationship between a government and a private company. Under this contract, each contract abilities and assets are united in bringing services for the community benefit. PPP ventures are long-time collaboration with joint projects lasting between 20 and 40 years. There are a few of advantages of PPP. First is the risk transfer. In PPP ventures, there is a probability of moving all trees to a private company. Risk and potential go hand in hand. Second advantage is cost saving. PPP can conserve from 6 to 40 building costs and reduce the risk of revolutionary contracting cost overruns. Private company will minimize the cost because they will get profits from the expense savings. Third advantage is PPP can minimize project delivery by years. By allowing entry to instantly accessible private sources of finance, PPP will boost the development of projects. There are also a few of disadvantages that I had found. First is the lack of accountability to the community, which is limit transparency in decision making. Second disadvantage is stall installation can be too costly if the private market runs them. If it happens, the community can stop using the services and it will cause the problems to the private market. Third disadvantage is insufficient guidelines and procedures will lead to the decline in value control and project price. There are 5 processes in public-private partnership. First is the pre-project planning phase and selection of the private partner or special purpose vehicle (SPV). Second process is planning phase. Third is the construction phase. Fourth is the commencement of operation. Fifth is the transfer to the government.
I will explain about Engineering, Procurement and Construction Contract (EPC). Engineering, Procurement and Construction Contract (EPC) is the turnkey solution in the construction company provides to complete work or services contract. EPC contract used by the private sector carry out the construction with the larger scale and complex projects such as airport, water tank, and bridge. The construction companies use EPC project are called EPC contractor. This figure shows the basic structure on EPC project. Employee is the one who would appoint the EPC contractor, who must someone who has an experience in the construction field and understand content of the contract. EPC contractor is responsible of the construction from inception stage until completion project. EPC contractor is carry out the detailed design project, equipment, materials, services, and labor in the construction project. EPC contractor will appoint the subcontractor under the construction phase and supplier under the procurement phase. Next, basic feature in the EPC contract. First, a single point of responsibility. The contractor is responsible to handle all the design, engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning, and testing activity in the project. Second, finish completion date. Fixed contract price. The EPC project is the fixed contract price, so contractor has limited the ability to claim and has a variation order in the project. Fourth, free cost variation. EPC contract is the free from cost variation in the project, higher degree of control. Employer perspective, client doesn't have power to control the project because EPC contract is the single point responsibility. Lastly, performance guarantee. Contractor will pay the liquidated damages if contract fails to meet the guarantee as mentioned in EPC contract. Performance guarantee is cover of the guarantee production capacity, quality, and efficiency must be generated in pre-estimate of the loss and damages, advantage and disadvantage of EPC contract. Advantage. First, easy monitor and coordinate because of responsibility by contractor. Second, ensure the efficiency in the design and construction process. Employer are not affected to the market price. And lastly, reduce project completion time. For the advantage, first, contractor's specification becomes rigid, higher risk, next, higher cost, and lastly, often put the reason for the delay. Lastly, EPC contract approach. EPC contract start with feasibility study, then front-end engineering design or FEED, cost estimation, signing of contract, engineer phase, contractor carry out the detailed engineer project, equipment phase. Contractor responsible for the all material in the project such as raw material and equipment. Construction phase, activity of the project carried out at the site follow the work program. Commissioning, contractor has to make sure the construction project must be operated according to design and specification, and also testing to the all items in the construction project to ensure it works properly and give a certification to client. Is contractor hand over project to the client.
Definitions. Partnering is a management approach used to achieve specific business goal by two or more organizations. By maximizing the effectiveness of the resources of each participant. In construction, it is a commitment between the owner, consulting engineer, and/or design team, and the contractor. An agreement based around openness, collaboration, and integrations. It needs that the parties work together to improve communications and avoid dispute. Partnering is successful to the extent that it's a win-win for each side. It replaces the conventional mindset of us versus them to us. The advantages of partnering. Partnering can give an advantages to the contractor, project, architect, engineers, consultant, subcontractor, and suppliers. The advantages is reduce vulnerability to the judicial process with communications and problem-solving techniques. Because communication is very important in every communication with partners. It will give the necessary clarity clearly to the partner. It gives an advantages to improve project outcomes in terms of cost, time, and quality. Next is mitigate cost effect, which is minimize liability exposure of record deficiencies by early issues detections, continuous implementation, and cooperation resolution. Next is solve the conflicts and avoid disagreement. For example, the typical claim in Malaysia costs 170 million and takes 16 months only to settle the allegation. Lastly is the challenges that have been generated will be recognized and the problem will provide an incentive for success, because it will then accumulate lesson learned at close out. For disadvantages, first, the hinder the development of the construction industry, because it will occur if a culture barrier occurs in the partnering between parties. Next is distrust. It may be a risk in itself to build trust for each other, but it is the main element for the successful project, because any individual we place on a trust may become a deserter. Next is split. The relationship will split when disagreement occurs in the relationship between the parties. Lastly is negative reputation impact. The reputation or track record or individual partner by affiliation is harmed if partnering goes wrong between the parties. Next is partnering approach. First, conduct the pre-session research with stakeholders and online survey for key participants. Next, design the partnering program specially for the project. Third, hold a workshop on partnering sessions. Fourth is partnering follow-up, including the partnering evaluation at project meeting, monthly online survey, and follow-up partnering session if necessary. Last one is additional partnering workshop at key project stages.
In certain regions, however, when contemplating the procurement approach for a project, there appear to be obstacles to the widespread implementation of new techniques. This is partially due to the threats and perceptions toward changes. Both the sector and its participants must embrace development and encourage new procurement approach to develop in order for the building industry to be able to face the managerial, technological, and social challenges.